If you have water intrusion in your basement where that space is no longer available, your mortgage is still the same amount. So why spend X amount of dollars every month for a space that you can't use? At 58 Foundations and Waterproofing, I'm going to take you on a tour of what we do to make sure that every square foot in your home or commercial structure is usable. This is Todd Prosan with 58 Foundations and Waterproofing, and today we're going to be discussing basement waterproofing. Not only does 58 Foundations and Waterproofing focus on residential structures, but also commercial structures. And in today's installment, we're actually going to be looking at this space that I'm in right now. This commercial structure has a unique problem, and that is they're getting water through the center of their floor. So you may ask yourself, how do we take care of water with a perimeter system when it's in the center of the floor? And that's done with what we call a lateral. A lateral line is using the channel 58 drainage system, which goes around the perimeter, and taking a line through the center of the slab to make sure that no hydrostatic pressure can build up. Then that lateral line and the perimeter system will then be directed specifically to the workhorse 3/4 horsepower sump pump that we have, and make sure that that water is then captured in the sump well and expelled outside. As you can see in the background here, we had to remove a lot of the drywall to be able to expose this brick wall. In this specific application, we're going to remove part of the floor, approximately 12 to 18 inches. We're going to expose the footing that's underneath there. We're then going to grade a trench so that all the water works its way to the sump well. We're then going to come in with the channel 58 pipe. We're going to install that. We're going to put some gravel on the front of that pipe to make sure it stays in place. We're then going to go over the top of it with our footer shield and then pour the concrete back. So the only thing the customer is going to see when we're all done is a small amount of footer shield sticking up and the new concrete, which will just be a little bit different in color. There's a big misconception that homeowners have where they believe basement waterproofing is a DIY project. This project is very, very labor intensive and difficult to do. Some of the most important things that I'd like to point out is the concrete has to be removed with jackhammers. All that debris then has to be loaded into buckets, carried up the stairs and outside into our trailer or truck that's waiting there, and then removed and taken to a dump yard. This is absolutely not something you want to take on as a DIY project. Some of the unique characteristics of this pipe is that it comes in 8-foot sections, which allows us to slope it directly towards the sump well to make sure that before water can add any hydrostatic pressure to the bottom of the slab, it actually gets into this pipe. So some other unique characteristics about the channel 58 pipe is the fact that it's very, very strong. You could literally stand on top of this pipe and you would not crush it. The reason that's important is because it's going to be underneath gravel and new concrete that's been placed on top of it. There's also an opportunity where people may move their furniture into the spaces where we've just removed that debris in the past and put that new concrete, so you want a pipe that's extremely strong and durable. Another characteristic of the Channel 58 pipe that I think is important to discuss is the fact that it's smooth and slick on the inside. which allows any debris that could potentially get inside the pipe to be washed out between the sections. Remember, this pipe is sloped so that the water starts traveling very quickly, as opposed to a system that's sitting on top of a footing or a corrugated pipe which has ridges in it. All that debris builds up. In this system, that's not the case. So at this point, a tremendous amount of progress has taken place in this basement. As you can see behind me, we have vapor barrier up on the wall. The vapor barrier is designed to make sure that no moisture or water can come through that brick wall and get into the environment inside, or be allowed to create high humidity conditions for the studs and the drywall that'll be placed in front of it. We also have a very unique proprietary product that we call Footer Shield. It's actually a corrugated plastic membrane. It once again allows any moisture that's between the vapor barrier and the wall to penetrate down into the channel 58 drainage system. The unique thing about it is that there's corrugations all the way through this product. And what that does is when the concrete is poured back in place, it doesn't pinch off any opportunity for water or restrict it from getting down into the channel 58 system. And if you give me a second, I'm going to show you, we actually have our channel 58 in place with our dead air space between the footing and the pipe, and then we have our pre-washed stone in place. So the last thing that's going to take place is the team is going to come back in and they're going to fill this trench with concrete, leveling it up to the existing floor. So this business owner will only actually see a difference in color between the concrete. They will both be very level. Once that's allowed to dry, they will then be able to put their wall back and their drywall back and be guaranteed for the life of the structure that they have a basement that's going to be dry with a money-back guarantee.